Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on All-Star F2P, and we're going to go with the double tank team. Basically, the strategy here is going to be to draw out this Silica, Ascendant Silica, and then from there, pick off the rest of the units as they come down as best as possible. Pretty straightforward strategy, nothing too complex here. Primarily going to probably lead with Eirika on this one, since Vantage is the best way to bypass Nurgle's Essence Drain, and also, well, Vantage against this Ursula should help us out as well. Yeah, that's pretty much the strategy here. One thing that's actually happened that I should probably update you guys on is that the Marth team has been pretty much retired, unfortunately, because Micaiah is so prominent everywhere. You can't avoid her, and the only way to neutralize her debuffs is either to run Micaiah yourself or to run Freya on offense, which is the most ridiculous thing because you're going to lose way too many score points, or lift as it's known in this game, for it to be practical. So yeah, since the Marth team depends primarily on bonuses to function, I mean, you can probably still, get enough bonuses to have the Vantage go off, even if Micaiah is there, but it's really inconsistent. So,
understood.
Yeah, I had to retire the Marth team. And also, he didn't do very well into Nurgle. If Nurgle had that Lagoo's friend build, and yeah, Nurgle was pretty much everywhere, so another reason that I had to retire the Marth team. So yeah, man, too many debuffs. Nurgle, Hush Spectrum, of all things, has become a problem. And lately, as I'm sure you would have seen by now, Jimbro has been being featured on defense, and hitting your Vantage into Jimbro for 0 is not the greatest feeling in the world. So yeah, Marth has been retired officially. I don't know, maybe he could be back in the future. Maybe he'll get some special or something. I don't think I'll replace Shining Emblem. So yeah, I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, for now, he's been officially retired from Ether Rage, unfortunately. I'll probably use him in other modes, but you won't be seeing him in gameplay, I guess, for a bit. Yeah, there's that. Unless we get like some type of emblem ring that can help him out to not get one shot, or maybe speed-based damage reduction that's not pierceable. But until such time, it is what it is. Nurgle here will, I don't know, someone here will get repositioned. I'm assuming that it's Nurgle. Oh, I didn't turn on animations. My bad, but as you can imagine here, I guess you can see. Okay, nice. If that was Lagoo's friend 4, I would have been in a little bit of trouble, but that's just special Spiral Nurgle, so it wasn't as bad. Fortunately, he went last. Let's turn the animations on here. If he had gone earlier, he probably would have gotten some stats out of Essence Drain, and that would have been bad for me.
What shall we do? Why not?
The only reason that it looks like I was able to win this is because this person didn't have the investment available to give Nurgle Lagoo's friend 4. Yeah, that would have been a real problem for me.
No holding back.
But luckily, that is not the case. So from here, we're just gonna take out the rest of the units and call it a day. Also, Becky doesn't have Lagoo's friend 4 either, so there's that. It's crazy how much that one skill makes so many units so much better. Especially the archetype that was particularly or previously like super unusable, because they didn't have the capability to transition their bulk into offense. And I'm referring to units like Astra, units like Nemesis, units like Saros, Mythic Saros, who is now a very decent unit on defense. Even better than Lift, Mythic Lift, in my opinion. Better than Thursier, in my opinion. She is a lot better with, that much better with Lagoo's friend 4, even better than Oder. and Odor is new. So that just goes to show you how strong that skill is. So shouts out again to Lugu's Friend 4, coming out here to change so many lives in Ether Raids. Well, not just Ether Raids, but in Fae in general. It's a really, really powerful skill. We'll see if we get something like that for, God Swords or Omni Tanks, just your regular Omni Tanks, because they definitely need it. They have complete, it's crazy how I look at all of my red infantry sword units and literally none of them are usable aside from Ike. It's not even that they don't do damage or they don't outspeed or whatever the case is. It's just they can't live a hit. Even with all the damage reduction, it's all pierceable DR. So once they get hit, they're dead. And that's no good. You want to be able to survive. So I guess, for a lot of them, you are able to give them the Ike Ring to make them survive, range combat a little bit more consistently. But they really need a B skill that makes them more usable in most game modes. And especially the fact that a lot of their damage is just their attack stat or probably, increases based off their speed. It doesn't bode well when it's being pitted against Lugu's friends for damage reduction, because a lot of the units, because their bulk is so high, 58, 60, 70 defense, the true damage reduction that they get from that isn't enough to be offset by the attack stat and the true damage that a lot of these God Swords get, like 15%, if that much. Whereas most older God Swords have literally no true damage in their weapons, so they're just doing their attack stat, and
I'll do it.
Seeing 60 damage turn into 0 is kind of crazy. So yeah, God Swords definitely need something to bring them back into the forefront of the meta, something to help them become more on par with how bulky units have gotten in terms of just swinging the meta entirely in their favor. It's so crazy. You look at units that, hey, no speed, high defense, trash unit. You'd look at units like that, high attack, high speed, good unit. It's completely flipped on its head now, where you need the defensive bulk to function with how good Lugu's Friend 4 is. So I don't know, I'm not necessarily calling for us to go back to the better days in my head where the speed stat actually mattered, or having the damage reduction actually mattered. But I would like to at least be able to use my God Swords again. They're just sitting there, man, just staring at me. Dust me off, do something with me. Marita, Fjorm, Marth, all my Marths. Can't do anything, all of my Marth. I got Fur, who I'm slowly merging up, still unable to do anything. Lucia, not really very much in terms of usability. So yeah, we got a long ways to go before we can start doing stuff with some of our units, man. The game is in a weird place, I feel. Hopefully CYL changes this. I'm just gonna keep saying that until CYL comes around, I guess. But there's that.
What was that?
I think before this video, you're gonna see a 1 hour thing drop. It is filmed or recorded before I played this particular day. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Well, I guess you would have seen it already, so maybe you won't know until a couple of days later. It's going to take forever to edit, so we'll see when it actually comes out. But yeah, man, that's it for today. See you in the next match. GG's. Alright, welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on Ray today, and we're gonna go and do what I love, which is tanking, double tanking specifically. And yeah, here comes the buff train. Only downside to this team is the mobility is a bit limited because warp bubble, which is pretty much everywhere with Mer, is a thing. So that's the only limitation for this team. I do plan to try to remedy that to a small extent, but for now, this is going to be a particularly difficult defense to come against, primarily because of Tina here. who is going to really slow this down. I gotta play this pretty carefully because I don't want Celica to get certain buffs. There's some buffs that I don't want her to get, namely the lull. I would rather she didn't. So I'm trying to plan this team alignment here so that she does not get that specific buff. But I mean, I'm not sure, but I think because I'm bonus, or because Amelia's bonus, even if Celica gets the lull, she might not outspeed Amelia here. So I'm just going to set this up so that we can try to get it to align properly, and then from there we're going to tank the team. I would have liked to get the AoE from Igreen off the map as well, but I think if I bait Igreen, Tina will attack instead and not move. So yeah, I think Igreen is going to be around for a bit, which is unfortunate because the Blazing Wind is a problem. I have no AoE protection on this team, so it's really just going to be down to my positioning in terms of whether or not I'm able to avoid getting hit by Igreen here. Interesting that no one here has the Celica ring, even though the opponent here has Celica. Could be an oversight, could be an error, who knows, but the team is boxed in. We're going to bait out Celica and then try to take her down and then take down the rest of the team afterwards. It's going to be really difficult to get the pots, but we'll see. Nefany here, I guess you can call it her debut. I don't know, but I think, well, didn't I use this team in the last match? I can't remember. It's already been like a whole day. The problem that I was having was that her mobility, again, is limited. I think I need to give her the attune skill that Peony came with. So I think that would help fix it, because I like having the Crux on her, because I didn't pick up enough copies of that Golvig to duplicate the tier 4 no follow-up in the C skill, the wave skill. Looking back at it, that was probably a bad idea on my part. I probably should have picked up another copy of that Golvig just so that I could have the no follow-up to pass around for situations like this. But I do actually like the Crux because it gives Gatry a guaranteed follow-up if he's not winning like the speed checks or anything like that. So I like that. So I'll probably keep it around, which then means that I'm going to have to give her Peony's movement assist or movement X skill, because warping X skill, because
why not?
it was either the no follow-up or, which actually the no follow-up doesn't solve my problem, or actually Nefany's problem, because she can't double without the Crux, or she may not double without the Crux, which is bad. So it would be to your benefit to give her the no follow-up skill from Peony, but then also movement. So I was thinking of giving her attack speed Oath. It's just a couple options. She's missing a few things in her kit, but overall we're just going to see how she performs. Tina stole my buffs. So this is a problem. I'm unable to counterattack because Tina stole. I didn't set it up properly, so Tina stole the majority of the buffs that I would have used to counterattack there, which is unfortunate. She needs, I think, 3 to get the full effects out of her weapon, Amelia, and 2 to counterattack, I believe, so no one here has any buffs, is what it looks like, which sucks. Mer coming to the front here is annoying, but it makes sense. I think she was the only other unit that had a positional skill. What this means is that my movement here is severely hampered because I can't warp. And there you go. The no follow-up. If Nefany had the no follow-up, I would have been able to double there. But the Crux not paying off in this particular matchup, really would have wanted the no follow-up there. But also, if she was able to warp, I'd be able to move her around a little bit more. And I think I'm actually eating the -7 debuff from the Flyer School. Celica there with all of the buffs that were stolen by Tina. Like I said, Tina is really the most annoying thing on this map currently. I probably could have done this with the Ike team.
I can do this.
Yeah, I definitely could have done this with the Ike team, but I wanted to give the new units here a try. Gatry, well, not necessarily new, the Refine. I wanted to give it a try, and I also wanted to give Nephany a swing here to see how she would work on this team. I have to get out of Becky's range because she's putting on the Fatal Smoke. So I gotta get out of the 3x3 so that I can potentially heal on the following turn. And also, I put Reciprocal Aid on Nephany to kind of help me out with healing, but I don't know if that's actually going to benefit me at all. I mean, let's see how it works in practice. I really, like, in this season or moving forward for the rest of the months, since I won't be able to get the benefits out of my healing tower because of Becky here.
What do we do?
It's either run a healer or run Ardent Sacrifice or Reciprocal Aid to try to compensate for the fact that I can't heal the regular way. For this team alignment, I decided to go with Reciprocal Aid, but I don't know how it'll work out for me. I was kind of thinking that I could daisy chain, you know, pass around HP kind of in a sort of way like that, but I don't know if it's going to work out exactly how I wanted to. Yeah, but there's that. So I've gotten Amelia to safety here, and the other issue is that I also need to move.
I can do this.
I need to move Jimbro out of the way. And I want to get into position so that I could potentially attack with Nephany here, just to see about the damage aspect against this Valentine's Mirror. It is quite significant in terms of the amount of damage. She can actually kill Valentine's Mirror. 1, 2 mythics. The problem is I'm debuffed currently, and also let's see here.
What now?
Yeah. Myr is benefiting from the flat damage reduction from Becky's Divine, what do you call it? Divine Nectar. So because this is the first combat, I won't be able to break through, I think it's flat 10 or 20 damage reduction that you get from Divine Nectar. I don't remember exactly how much. So that's preventing me from getting the kill here. If I was able to, well, maybe what I should have done was attack before dancing there. Even though I was doing no damage, I probably should have attacked still because of that. There, IS was actually super cheeky, allowing Nephany to have a sweep effect, because Myr is actually one of the most used or utilized units on defense. And I don't know if they're like watching the I'm sure they have some type of graph that shows the most used units in the game or in certain game modes or whatever, but this Nephany kind of directly counters what Myr does in terms of the warp blocking. Well, not necessarily the warping stuff, but being able to counterattack. If Myr can counterattack, then you're more than likely going to be able to kill her, whereas Byleth doesn't have that weakness. But Byleth is really fallen off because of Silica. And also like other blue units that are just able to blow up Byleth in general. But Myr here is really just weak to Water Sweep or Wind Sweep, and that's actually what Nephany is providing here, with the added benefit of the fact that she's actually able to do damage, because Veronica, Legendary Veronica, has that Wind Sweep effect, blah blah blah, conditional, but Legendary Veronica, or at least mine, +5, does 0 damage to Valentine's Mirror. So Nephany here is benefiting from a lot of true damage in her weapon, as well as the resonance. That's allowing her to do some amount of damage, but as you saw there, debuffs do matter, support does matter. So even in those cases, and I think you'll probably see again in a little bit, Nephany will probably still hit for 0. Even though she has all of those true damage effects working in her favor against Valentine's Mirror. That's just how strong Valentine's Mirror is, and how well IS has planned, it seems, for this year, because they didn't boost her attack to like unrealistic levels to be able to. She's not like a hard counter for or towards Valentine's Mirror. She doesn't completely just stomp on her, but she can get the kill, which is good. So there's a good amount of balance there. For right now, I'm thinking to take out Ygritte here since she's away from Myr, and she poses the biggest threat at this point. Even though the AoE won't hit where it would matter, I won't be able to heal. So it's to my benefit to try to get rid of Ygritte at this point. I didn't want Edelgard to start moving, actually, because that means that this is going to be so much more challenging getting the pots. So that's my biggest worry right now. I haven't been able to use Jimbro to do anything just yet because there's just so much going on here, primarily because of Tina stealing all of my buffs. But since Celica's gone, I don't really have to worry about the enemy warping in. So I just got to figure out how to get to Ygritte here, and I'm going to just be breaking this enemy tactics. And then with a dance, I should be able to take out Ygritte, and then it's just going to be down to my positioning in terms of what happens next. Edelgard versus Gatry seems kind of scary, but she is running Pavis, I believe, and she doesn't have like an attack boosting, an offensive seal in her A slot, so maybe. But we'll see how Gatry does there. Been doing pretty well so far against Valentine's Mirror here. And he will do well against Becky and Freyr. That much I do know. I'm just gonna go for a pot shot here, just to break the first hit damage reduction, which is annoying. Like you have to get past it. Even if you're doing 0 damage, it's probably to your benefit to attack, because she is reducing the damage from the first combat by so much that it just works out in your, like, as long as you're able to survive, which is one thing that Nephany is able to provide you with. With the sweep effect, the fact that you're just not gonna die. I don't know how many units actually have that sweep effect in their weapon, the wind sweep, that are good. So it's Nephany, Veronica, and I can't think of too many others. Usually it's either water sweep or wind sweep. But fire sweep, which is what this effect is called, I guess, I feel like it's a lot more valuable, which is why it isn't on that many units these days, or at least units that are good. I think this is the best setup that I can do currently. I'm gonna just hit Myr here for the sake of it, and then what this will do, it'll force Tina to heal, which will prevent her from attacking. So there's that. Hopefully she does take the bait though. I don't know. She might not do it. Let's see. Yep, there you go with the heal. Ooh, 56 times 2 is quite a bit. And Edelgard also has guard. Ooh. Well, at least the flat damage reduction came in there. Because I was out of range of Veil there, that's why they're attacking from right there. Edelgard has guard in her kit, and that actually prevented Gatry from ramping back into his special Pavis there. Gatry is weak to guard on the follow-up attack. He really doesn't want to get hit twice. Yeah. But this is kind of bad. I have to get rid of Edelgard now because she will kill him if she is allowed to attack again. And I have no way to really heal Gatry here. So that means I'm gonna have to kill Edelgard.
I've got it.
Alright, let me try to figure this out. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and pop the harmonic skill here from Nephany, because it actually neutralizes penalties, which is a big plus. But unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to double, which is what I wanted it to do. Still null follow-up.
What do we do?
Null follow-up is needed somehow on this unit. Or at least with a partner that can give her null follow-up. Okay, that's good to know.
I've got it.
I think what I'll do here is
You've got a plan.
again, break the damage reduction.
Huh? What now?
And then let's see if Jimbro can take out Edelgard here through the Pavis. I think that's probably going to be the best option because Gatry can't do it, and I'm pretty sure a melee will fall into the same bucket. Worst case scenario, I will dance Nephany and try to take out Myr, and see if I can get something out of that. Oh, that's pretty decent actually. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so Jimbro here is going to take out Edelgard. It's surprising that she is. Well, then again, there's so many buffs here that I don't even like. Also, she's stealing my bonus doubler and the lull. So, I don't know what's going on, man. I also have the lull and the bonus doubler. So, there's just so much going on here. But I'm definitely going to do this because with a dance, I'm pretty sure that I can get the damage out here to take out Edelgard. And then from there, we only really would have to worry about... It's turn 4. I think the only real problem will be trying to get the pots after this, because what I could do is allow Tina to just attack.
Always ready.
Since she has Flash, I could allow Tina to keep attacking.
Pure endurance.
And as I said before, Gatry will live against Becky and Freyr, so Gatry won't have a problem there. And we've seen so far that he's done fairly well against Myr, so those three are fine. It's just Tina left will be a concern. What do I can't warp there. I'd have to swap. But if he doesn't move, he doesn't get the clash effect, which is added damage. I could move to the side, but then he's not covered by far save, so he definitely has to attack from below. So let's swap. Yeah, that's about. She heals off.
What do we do?
He heals more than she takes damage. So let's swap here.
I'll do it.
Dance.
Close your eyes.
And then we're gonna attack again.
What?
Now, get the kill, but where do I attack from? Does it matter?
I can do this.
Also, I can swap Gatry out of range of Becky here, so that he could potentially heal
got a
on the
plan.
following turn. So there's that to consider as well.
Count on me.
Even reposition Gatry down. You know, one of the things that I was actually doing in testing that was working out really well,
I've got it.
and I think it might actually be time for it, is Freyr on offense. Freyr on offense might actually be the play. There's so many debuffs going around these days that having just Micaiah
Speak.
for offense isn't enough, and even like as good as Peony is, she still doesn't neutralize some of the negative status effects that you'd really like her to remove. It's weird to say this, but penalty neutralization isn't enough. Not having the penalties at all is where it's at right now, and I think we are about due to have some type of Freyr effect on offense. Like, not like what Micaiah does, but like a full-on Freyr effect that just neutralizes all the penalties. I feel like that's where we are actually. So as toxic as it was to have Freyr on defense, I think it's kind of time to have him on offense as well. I think the game is ready for it. It's crazy how it's crazy how over the course of a couple of months to a year, Embla is now a thing, and it's not even a problem. Like, it's so crazy. Like, Embla is literally able to be run on offense, And like a year ago, I'd have said that that is the worst thing that could happen to the game, and here we are, and it's not even that big of a deal. That is really interesting, and I really now feel like it's time for us to get Freyr. And even like thinking about the fact that Elamine is actually scheduled to get her refined within the next year, I'm thinking, what could they even give to Falstart at this point to make it any better than it actually, or to make it usable? What could they do to make that a relevant effect in the game? And if they do that, then it's definitely going to break the game again. Which is what it did originally. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could just keep the res check, because I thought the res check was actually perfectly fine. And where they are in the game right now, there's so many units. Like even Becky here has a ridiculous amount of res. Or Arvel from God knows when he came out now at this point, and he's like not even seen that much. He had the ability to avoid a lot of what Elamine was doing, so.
Pure endurance.
And back then, a lot of it was to stop Katria, but Katria is no longer a thing. So do we even need that Elamine support these days? And even like thinking about it, the units that Elamine would stop, they have ridiculously high res, to where the majority of the time they're out-resing Elamine. So again, I really don't know what they'd even consider giving to Elamine's Falstart to make it work, aside from changing it from a start of turn effect to a start of phase effect, where it triggers before, in terms of like a order of operation thing, it triggers before everything else, because without that, then it's useless. It would still be useless. I don't see how they're gonna fix Elamine. They've literally just broken her completely at this point. I guess they could give her a combat refine, which would make sense, but as a support unit, I really don't know what they're going to do to her.
Much catches my eye.
But yeah, 2 turns left to go at this point. We've successfully started to wear down the opposing team. You may not have noticed, but I've actually been blocking off the defense's movement. We're going to take out Tina here because she's been quite annoying so far. So yeah, it feels like the right time to do so. But I've been boxing off the opposing team's movement, because the worst case, or the worst thing that could have happened, is to have all of them rush down at once. It would have been a lot more difficult to deal with. I probably would have lost if that had happened. But you know, just pointing out one of those, or the little things that help to win a match, or help me win a match. If you're not paying attention, you probably would have missed it. It's kind of like this has been like a war of attrition, and my units have been surviving thus far, even though they haven't been able to heal, and the enemy is within range of their healing tower, and they had a healer. Yeah, we've just been breaking them down with brute force. Nephany has been playing a really big part in that so far, and then Jimbro here punching people in the face. So yeah, really big support units here, providing. I can't even call them support units. They're basically nukes, nuke supports, and they're just doing the job. The hard part now is going to be to get the pots. We're down to Freyr and level 2 beast units, basically. Getting the pots is going to be difficult, because I don't remember the placement for the traps, so. Oh, that's the worst position. She's took the defense style. The worst spot she could have gone to, because she's going to block my movements. Because she has bulwark.
I have to get stronger.
So she's going to be blocking my movement. I don't know who I should leave for. Hopefully Freyr doesn't die here. I don't think he should.
I have to get stronger.
Okay, good. Alright, so yeah, I was actually thinking I should have pulled for some extra copies of Amelia, but I didn't do it because I have no one that can duplicate her fodder, so I would have probably ended up merging the unit. And then also, they're slowing down with that archetype, speed armors.
Speak.
So I don't think they'll release another speed armor anytime soon, unless CYL throws a wrench into my predictions, but I don't think they're going to release another one in this archetype. It might just be like a bulky armor instead. But the speed arm, I think Amelia will be the fastest. I was thinking about Brave Corrin, but she isn't getting her refined until next year. Yeah, I think Amelia will be the fastest armor for a while. Yeah. How do I get the pot? Oh, I can warp. Alright, so I can... and then step on the trap, and that will allow me to go over. Turn 7, I have to be able to take out Becky here. And the best way to do it is with Nephany. So... I can move towards the pot. Again, red, they're...
So much catches my eye.
Like, I have so many red units, but they're just... a lot of them are useless. Aside from Ike and Summer Golveg, like, red is really bad. And it's crazy to say that, but most of my red units have little to no value, or contribute not very much to
What do we do?
offense. So, great. I had to pull for this Nephany because red is in a really bad state
Hope
currently.
you've got a plan.
I mean, yeah, Chloe is really good as well. Chloe can actually take out Becky here. But I typically run Chloe on defense. I mean, I could switch it up if I wanted to, but I don't like to...
I trained for this.
I like to be conservative with my blessings. They're so hard to come by. So having a unit that I can stick on offense and not have to worry about it is a big deal for me.
I will do it. Have faith.
And unfortunately, Veronica has completely fallen off a cliff. So there's that. I could probably, like, there's just like Ike, Nephany,
Count on me.
Chloe, Spring Chloe, and that's it. I think only 3 units that are red and are good. I guess, like, you can like build your units to make them like really good with, you know, skills and stuff. But like out of the box, it's really just down to those 3. Emblem Marth, I forgot about as well. 4 units in red that are like actually good currently.
Speak.
Okay. How do I
can
get
do
this pot, but also
What now?
kill Becky here?
I've got it.
Can you do it?
Oh,
I think with a dance, she should be able to. And then that will fully activate
Close
Blade
your
Session as
eyes.
well. If not,
so much catches my eye.
I'm gonna be forced to
heard
leave
that
that
you
pot,
got
and I
to
don't
well.
want to.
Is this all right?
For some reason, she hits harder on the second combat. Like, after, like, if it's the same turn and Nephany attacks
Is
twice,
this all right?
she hits harder the second time around, which is bizarre. I have Ruptured Sky. I should probably give that to her as well, since mainly she's gonna be fighting like Myrrh and stuff, so it would make sense to give that to her. Nope. Okay, alright, we're safe to get the pass. Alright. That's been an actual challenging map here.
Heard.
Primarily because of my choice to use the new team. I could probably have done this a lot faster if I had used Ike, but
So much
you
catches
gotta
my
give the
eye.
new units a try. And here you go.
Don't push yourself
Yeah,
too
we're able
hard.
to get it done here.
This is
I think a
fun.
week or 2 until CYL at this point. Are we gonna get Summoner Duels? Yeah, I think we're gonna get Summoner Duels at the end of this month as well. Summoner Duels S. That is looking to be quite interesting. But yeah, that's it for this one, man. GG's were able to get the win out in the end. Slow and Steady wins the race, and see you in the next one.